Ladies and gents, welcome to Next Level Radio. I am your host, Colby Wortman, and our mission is to tackle the biggest questions in strength and conditioning, business, investing, and everything in between. We bring to you the best people in every sector so that you, the listener, can benefit and learn from the best in the biz. Whether that is S&C or business, you can rest assured you're getting the best knowledge available. Having trained athletes for many, many years, we have tried every treadmill known to man. You name it, we've tried it. With these treadmills, there's always been a disconnect, something missing for our athletic performance, something that just does not correlate to athletic success on the field until we tried our TRUEFORM runners. TRUEFORM for over 10 years has been elevating the performance of pro athletes, college athletes, recreational runners, and everyday athletes alike. You can check out TRUEFORM treadmills at TRUEFORMrunner.com, and we thank TRUEFORM for being an exclusive sponsor of Next Level Radio. All right, it's time we all grow up a little bit. Ditch the pre-workout. It's not 2007 anymore, and it's nothing like Jacked 3D. Ditch the shaker. You're not 4 years old, and you don't need a bottle anymore. And get yourself the best dippable pre-workout on the market. Each pouch is patriotically packed with 300 milligrams of caffeine and vitamins because shaker bottles suck. Send It SUPPS is the on-the-go solution for athletes, LEOs, firefighters, door kickers, and everybody in between. Head over to senditsupps.com to get the best dippable pre-workout on the market, and we thank Send It SUPPS for being a sponsor of Next Level Radio. Next Level Radio continues to grow because of our listeners and our sponsors. Today we present to you Fat Fish Brewing, the official beer of Next Level Radio. Whether you're looking for a night out with family or smashing the best craft beers in the area, you will find it all at Fat Fish Brewing. Check out Fat Fish on Villard Street in Dickinson, or check them out on their website at fatfishbrewing.com. Life has an amazing way of coming full circle and bringing to you the people that you need in your life at that time. As a young whippersnapper, 4 monsters deep, just excited to tackle the day, I'm headed to my first strength and conditioning conference, and I hear about a company called TEAMBUILDR. Multiple coaches with experience with TEAMBUILDR and other platforms said the exact same thing. They said that you can get very similar products across different platforms. However, the thing that truly sets aside TEAMBUILDR and puts their product above anybody else's is their true and genuine customer service. As a customer for many years, both at the university setting and the private facility, I can tell you, TEAMBUILDR's customer service is absolutely second to none. Late night emails, programming issues, emergencies on my end are all resolved very, very quickly. So join the thousands of universities and private facilities that use TEAMBUILDR to elevate their businesses by going to teambuilder.com, click Start My Free Trial, and use code NLT at checkout. Our next sponsor, Nutridyne, a medical supplement company aimed at enhancing performance and addressing the underlying issues of disease. You will be hard-pressed to find the quality that you'll find at Nutridyne. Listeners of this podcast get 20% off all supplements. Just go to @coach_Wortman and click the Nutridyne link in our bio. Keep up with us on Instagram @coach_Wortman, on our website, nl-training.com, or keep up with us on the next episode of Next Level Radio. Now sit back, relax, and take in the mind-melting knowledge of this episode. Welcome, everybody, to Next Level Radio. This is going to be number 105, and I got a really cool outside-the-box guest today that we've been very glad to. I got to introduce myself to you, and I'm glad that I'm able to learn. You've done some cool things that I really want to do, and I look up to you in what you do and what you've built. And so we talk about business. We talk about addiction. I went through 10 years of opiate addiction, a lot of shit. And this is some of the cool stuff, just kind of building an empire from the ground up and kind of life as we go through it. So I want to introduce everybody to Bryce Kephart, owner of KE&I, right?
Yep.
And does a lot of real estate, does a lot of general contracting, flipping, rentals, really does it all. So I'll have you introduce yourself quick, and we'll start talking shop from there, man.
Yeah, Bryce Kephart, grew up in California, came out here. I've been out here since 17, so going on about 5 years now or so. But yeah, just what you said, that's kind of what I do. You know, I'm basically in the real estate market, flips, rentals, all that good stuff. So
yeah.
got some time under my belt. I kind of grew up in it and around it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where I learned from my grandfather. He actually has quite a few rentals. So just growing up and seeing it, you know, is kind of where I guess I never really got help with anything, but what I did do is I seen everything that he did, and I definitely learned from it. And so
was he specifically in California?
Yep.
Mostly? Cool.
Yep.
A lot of residential?
Yep.
Yeah. Man, I think we have a very similar story. My grandmother out of Montana, before Livingston, Bozeman, Missoula all blew up, her and my grandfather built an empire there. Total of, I think at the top of it was like 56 units, 58 units, something like that.
Right.
But like commercial, owns the Albertsons lots, the Subways, Dairy Queens, all that, and then got into apartment buildings. And I heard, I mean, you're doing a lot of work for like maintenance and all that stuff for apartment buildings, Falcon Heights and all that. So
yeah, we do a lot of that, you know, for larger complexes around Dickinson and actually all over North Dakota.
So it's really cool, man. I think we have a lot to learn from that older generation, and then also kind of making it our own too, you know?
Definitely. Agree 100%.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm like 5 to 10 years trying to build what you've built. I'm 5 to 10 years behind. You know what I'm saying? I'm just starting that process, and so it's really cool to like learn and get to know kind of the industry a little bit. I just have a couple rental properties, do things like that, provide some capitals for some people if they want to get into something. But besides your grandfather, so you grew up and lived most of your life in California then?
Yep.
Yeah. So what was the pull to North Dakota? Family?
So I came out here. Well, I originally went to Oklahoma first. And what I did is I got into a couple of properties out there, and I started the real estate side of like the rental properties and stuff like that. I started out there mainly, and then I seen a good market out here as far as the oil and gas industry and, you know, what it brought in. So then we made the transition out here to Dickinson, North Dakota, and that's when we started pulling in and acquiring all the assets out here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So you just started with just a couple residential stuff in Oklahoma?
Yeah. I started like that, and you know, went in, did the work myself, because like I said, this goes back to being young and growing up in it and around it, right? So I'm you know, remodeling properties at 13 years old or whatever with my dad and my grandpa, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that helped out a lot. So I've been in the industry for a long time. You know, and so once we moved out here, kind of sold off everything out in Oklahoma and just focused on, you know, acquiring assets out here.
Yeah. And kind of that snowball effect, everybody, when you get into real estate, that's what you have helping you, pushing you from the back, like just start rolling over properties, selling properties, getting equity, and just kind of keep on going. I always tell people I run a program to kind of get people acclimated just to even start thinking about real estate.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I'm like, you need to start a snowball. If that's first thing you do, you get a roommate and you house hack. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Then you buy a duplex.
Yep.
Then you just keep on going, you know?
Oh, yeah, for
And
sure.
so I think that's what you did. We both learned from somebody that was way better at what we were doing than we were.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really cool to see. And what was the extent of your grandfather's real estate? Did he do that the rest of his life?
Yeah, he's still doing it.
Attaboy.
Yeah, he's 89, and he still goes to the office. Like, he's in the office every day, even Saturdays. I call him. I usually talk to him on Saturdays.
Yep.
I try to get a hold of him, and we keep in touch. But, you know, I mean, at one time he had acquired 500 doors. So,
wow.
I mean, he you know, he
Big
did
time.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's you know, you look up to stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, you know, I mean, being able to see kind of how his setup was, and that kind of helped me. It really helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
In doing what I do, you know, the only thing different is, you know, I guess the general contracting and the residential and commercial building all came along with it. I want to say it literally came with it. Like, people seen our work, seeing what we did, and then we started getting calls to, hey.
That was one of my questions. Like, how do you roll into that?
That's exactly how we didn't. It just came to us.
Really?
Yes.
So you were just starting like, hey, rental properties, and then work, and people saw it and it took off.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. And flips, you know, a couple flips that I did, people seen them and they were just like,
I got to have this.
Yeah, we want your work. Come do our property.
That's sweet.
Come renovate for us.
Yeah. And then that snowballed into maintenance, snow removal, just everything.
Yeah. Now, we've got snow removal divisions. We got maintenance divisions. We're kicking off into the oil and gas industry, you know, with Roustabout division.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
hot
how
shots, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
So we're very diverse. You know, as a company, we're super diverse, and we specialize in whatever we do. We take pride in, we specialize in it. You know what I mean?
And you get the best people to do that work.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You can't do it all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was at the ground floor a couple of years after they started. I was good friends with the guys that owned and operated and built Pathfinder.
Nice.
Almost the same thing.
Yep.
They're not in the real estate per se. Maybe they're their buildings.
Right.
But they just started and snowballed from there, man. They built into Roustabout. They built into I was weed spraying for them. The weed spraying stuff. Yep. I mean, super easy. You don't have to freaking have a brain cell in your head to do it.
Right.
And they did the same thing. And I think it comes more naturally. That was actually one of my questions I had written down. Like, how the hell did you get from point A to point B?
Yep.
And it was just word of mouth.
Word of mouth is a lot of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel this because you were. How old were you when you left California?
I was about 20.
Okay, so yeah, you got a good gist of how it was. I came from small town Wyoming, having exposure to California.
Okay.
But Dickinson's, I don't know, I want your opinion, but Dickinson's like a different community, man. Like it's a very giving community.
Yes.
There's very successful people that want other people's success is how I put it. Like there's so many opportunities. Do you feel that too? Like, with everything.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much opportunity out here. And so when I came out here, you know, I kind of paved the way for like my whole family. You know, my sisters are here. My brother-in-laws are here now, you know.
Very cool.
My mom came out here. So with that being said, you know, and you can see all the opportunity around, you know. I mean, and I guess that's anywhere you go as long as you're gonna get it.
Yep, and
you know?
talking to the right people and
yeah. So networking stuff like that kind of makes it's kind of a big deal. But you know, with per se the oil and gas industry, it brings a lot of other aspects to the table. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
a lot. I mean, Dickinson's done a good job in the past that we were just solely oil and gas. Like, hey, this is what we're built on.
Yep.
And I think in the last couple. I mean, we've seen ups and we've seen downs. They've tried to do a good job of getting an economy outside of it.
Yeah.
And they've done a good job, I think.
Super good job.
Yeah. You know, because, I mean, we can capitalize off that money. I mean, every business does. You do, I do, colleges do, but we need to build something outside of it. Yeah. So
I think we're slowly progressing towards that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that with just with everything that's going on, even with the new town square that they're building, you know.
Yeah. Market press that out there, and
So that's going to bring a lot of different. It's just going to bring a lot of different people into from different communities. I feel like that's going to help a lot with the growth of Dickinson.
Yeah, and we've had sometimes the mall get brought up and all that stuff with new developments there. I think it's going well, man. It's going well.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah. So you came out from California, but we were talking a little bit about it. I have a little bit of a background in motocross, not nothing near as what you do, but you grew up around some heavy hitters back in the day. So get us through your motocross career, and then obviously for people that don't know, you got kids that are freaking studs that ride bikes all the time too. So
so I grew up, like I said, in California, and we rode a lot. It's Baco Troops Division 2, the Metal Militia. You know, I kind of grew up around them, rode with all them boys, kind of, you know, got to see the lifestyle and stuff like that. And growing up in it was great because not a lot of people get to experience that, you know. So as far as, you know, riding professionally, I kind of pulled away from it just because I had started a family. Yeah. And I couldn't.
It's a hard
afford
lifestyle.
To get hurt. And the shows, you know, they just don't pay enough. You know what I mean? At the beginning, you know, unless you were to push through it and pull sponsors and all that good stuff, which we did a little bit of, but, you know. And so, you know, fast forward, I'm in business, do the real estate thing. My kids ride too. They race motocross, so I focus on them a lot now. They're racing, so.
That's sweet, man. It's
bringing them up in it means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's gratifying, dude. Yeah. You get to kind of pass on a passion of yours. Obviously, it was a passion at some point, you know, and still is. So, I mean, when you throw around the Metal Militia crew, I mean, men our age, when you throw that name around, you know how much weight it carries. Yeah. Nowadays, it's like kids probably don't even know who that is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know your kids do.
Yeah, my kids know who they are. I mean, they've kind of faded out a little bit, but, you know, they're still riding. They still got guys in the X Games and stuff like that. So. Yeah,
because they took over the scene when our age, dude.
Yeah, big time.
It was them.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, a lot of people looked up to them, and that's why they did what they did.
Yeah,
you know?
Yep.
So, I mean, we got a few videos out there and stuff like that on YouTube. And, so
very cool, dude. Very cool.
It was awesome to grow up in that, and not a lot of people could say that. You know what I mean?
No,
so I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I've never met anybody like that, and I didn't even know that about you. I just knew that the kids were in motocross, man. It's cool to see everybody's life experiences. My goal is to be the dumbest person in the room when we have these podcasts, and it's really cool just to progress and learn.
For sure, definitely.
And I'm very amazed with what you've done with Kephart and your business as a whole. So, like, as it stands today, you have all these different divisions, all these different things. Yep. How many employees are you running?
We're at about 6, but you know, a lot of our work is subbed out too. You know, I mean, I have experts.
Well, you just said it. You were using all these different contractors, and
I mean, I and we do that. We have a good rapport with different, you know, companies in the community. We utilize a lot of them because a lot of the stuff we aren't able to get to, or, you know, so that's why I do that. Yeah. And it helps other companies to expand and grow, and you know, so we're really good about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is your real estate side the biggest division you got? I mean, per se?
Well, it's
all kind of together. It's
it's all kind of together, but you know, I guess you could say that. Yeah. So it's kind of what everybody knows a lot of us for is for the real estate.
Well, yeah. You know, 9 months ago, 10 months ago, when I was just trying to reach out to people and learn, you came up on the real estate side. Yeah. Somebody mentioned your name. One of my clients mentioned your name, word of mouth again. Yep. And so I just reached out, and I'm glad I did. And so when in your business, I know it fluctuates all the time, but you're focusing on flips, rentals, all that. How many rentals do you guys usually carry?
You know, we keep it right around a handful usually, and then you know, we acquire one a year. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do, you know. And then flips, you know, we try to do at least 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah, that's what you had mentioned, 1 or 2 a year. Yeah, I think you have one that you're selling right now.
Yeah, actually, you know, we just pulled an inspection on it yesterday.
Oh, good.
Actually gonna go over there a little bit later today and just double check some stuff. But yeah, we should be closing on that this week.
Good, man.
Pretty exciting.
You guys did a good job on that one. I think I'm at the same one. It's flips I've never got into. but I think it's something that you could do in any economy. I mean, you're trying to turn and burn and provide a value to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So that they can have a value.
Yeah, definitely.
Right now, with what we're going through, how old are you now?
I'm 24.
24.
Or 23, sorry.
Really?
Next year I'll be 24. Or 34, I'm sorry.
Holy fuck. I was like...
24? 34.
Holy
Next
shit.
year I'll be 34.
Okay. I was like, no shit. I thought you were my age or a little bit older.
Yeah,
like,
no.
oh shit. Okay.
I'm 33 next year. I'll be 30.
Perfect.
Threw me for a loop there.
You threw me for a loop. So you've gone through. You're just a couple years older than I am. You've gone through a little bit. You're probably still younger, but a little bit of 08. What happened then?
Yeah.
What we're going through right now. I don't think it's the same. I really don't. What are you guys focusing on in today's economy?
So
on the real estate side.
Yeah, on the real estate side, I don't even think there's a comparison.
No.
If you ask me, there's $2 trillion in real estate in 08.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing even close to that right now. Buy and hold assets are what's
get out of cash.
Yeah, the buy and hold assets is what's going to get you where you need to be.
Yeah,
in the long run, right? Whoever's going to start in real estate investing, that's what they need to focus on. Sure, quicks or flips are quick money. A great way to get your name out
and snowball a little bit.
Yep. But if you can hold out, and everything good comes in time, you know what I mean? And that's basically what it boils down to. Is you just got to stick with it, and let time do its thing, and do the work too.
Yeah, and real estate's probably the best example of that. I mean, it's the best example.
Yeah, for sure,
man, there's so much shit. There's so many statistics. There's so much everything that's going on. But I look at it in a couple simple ways. With interest rates, don't freak out somebody like you or me as much as they do a residential buyer buying their primary residence. Yeah, they're like, I don't want to pay that. It doesn't freak us out as much because, one, you could refinance. Two, we're having somebody in that property actually utilizing it.
Yep.
How I look at it is there is a shitload of people that have 3% interest rates. There's a shitload of people that have 2% interest rates. They're gonna hold on to their homes, and we're not going to see the bottom fall out of this thing. Yeah. That's my opinion. Yeah. We're just not going to see this bottom fall out. Demand's going to go up because there's not going to be a ton on the market. Prices are going to inflate. That's my opinion. I talked to my grandmother. She went through 08 with both commercial and residential. And I asked her, because I was looking at a property, I gave her the numbers, ran her through it, and I asked her, how'd your commercial do? How'd your residential do? And she said, my commercial took a little bit of a hit, but we're not selling, so it doesn't matter. We still got our mortgages paid for. It inflated over time. Yep. She said her residential in 08, because interest rates were high and people didn't want to buy, she's like, our residential went through the freaking roof. Yep. People, if the interest rates are high, people are going to rent more often. Yeah. And your situation, my situation, on a much, much smaller scale, people need to rent. Yeah. And so that's where it's at. And I told her all the numbers, and I said, what do you think? What do you think in this economy? And she pauses. She's like, what's the fucking problem? Buy the house. Like, what's the problem? Yeah. So she looks at it from she's an OG. She's an OG. And there was just a pause on the call, awesome. And I'm like, all right, perfect. I was looking for her to walk me off the ledge, but she walked me on it. So it was cool to see.
That's awesome, dude. I love hearing stuff like that.
I know.
And it's like, don't just go get it, Yep. You know what the outcome's going to be, you know, so.
Exactly. And if you're looking even a couple years, 5-10 years, I don't know if you can go wrong. I mean, obviously you need to bake it into your deal and make sure your deal's right. But again, you get back to just acquiring assets, because cash is hard right now. We need to make sure we're doing that.
Yep.
So
definitely 100%. I agree.
Yeah, man. Back to your business a little bit. What, from the ground up, when you moved out here, what was the single hardest thing to do as you were building from the ground up to where you're at now?
Keeping guys, I guess.
Just gonna say that.
Keeping good, employees, keeping good help. Because I don't do everything on my own. I got a great team behind me. I got attorneys. I got title companies. I have agents, contractors. So it's a huge web of people that I utilize, you know, that we work together. It's not just me, you know what I mean? It's all of us. We all put in our part.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was networking and falling into those right grooves of people, you know, and meeting new people, you know, over time.
Yep.
So I guess, but from the business aspect, I would say that the hardest part, just because we weren't big and established as of yet, you know, is finding good help and good guys that are skilled in what they do to be able to come on and bring value to the company as a whole. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think I asked every big business owner, and I consider you a big business owner. I ask every business owner that, and every single time it comes back to employees of some sort, whether that's hiring and keeping, or if that's delegating tasks. And for me, that's where I struggle. Yeah. I struggle bad with the delegation, because like I said, I'm 5 to 10, 15 years behind you. I'm at the point now where like I've hit this workload and I need to just start delegating, and it's hard for me.
Yeah,
it's
because
super hard.
Yeah, that's definitely hard, because you almost have to get somebody in there that's just like you, or ready to take on all your tasks that you do.
Yep.
And you're not fully comfortable yet dispersing that.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I feel you, dude, for sure.
And taking pride, especially like yours has your name on it.
Yep.
You know, somebody taking pride in Kephart Estates or KE&I, like they have to have enough pride, and it's hard to find an employee that's going to want to do that. You know.
Yep. Definitely. But it comes with time, though.
Yeah.
You know, the right people fall in time.
So you pretty much, you looked at your strong suits, the things that you're the best in the world at, and you kept hold on to those tasks, and then you kind of just delegated the stuff you didn't have time for.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it went.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how you have to do it, because if you don't, then you end up just getting overloaded, right? And you're just like, it becomes a lot, you know, after time goes on. Excuse me. And it comes to a point where you almost have to, you know.
Yeah.
So
building a big business, I have my little humble abode, and I've struggled with it in the past, but I always like asking this question too. You're a family man. You have kids. Since the last time we had talked, I had my first newborn, and it's the best thing in the world. But that business and life aspect, and I have a little bit of a different perspective on it. Everybody's like, you have to balance it. You can't take work home. You got to do this. And I have this aspect of like, if I can healthily intertwine my family into my business, and it's a healthy relationship, I seem to have a lot better equilibrium in my life. How has that balance been for you?
Well, that, you know, in your case, that probably helps you with your mentality. It probably helps you feel better about the situation.
It does.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, however, my point of view on it, I guess it's not as balanced as it should be.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah. Same here.
I mean, sometimes I'm working late, you know, 8, 9, 10 at night at the office or whatever, but, you know, it kind of comes with it. So with that being said, you know, and that's why we do stuff like the motocross and stuff, because in the wintertime, it's crunch time.
Yep.
You know, I don't know. A lot of people say, oh, well, summertime's their busiest time. Well, we're busy 100% all the way year round, which is great. Super blessed, right? But the wintertime's super busy for us as well.
You're acquiring assets.
Yeah.
You're getting that. And then,
Definitely. So with the wintertime being as busy as it is, I try to take the summertime to kind of slow down a little bit.
Good.
And pull back and go out and do that family stuff, camping, you know, vacation, stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So, but as far as balancing it, you know, everybody works a lot. Everybody, well, some people do, I guess, you know.
Today's day and age is different.
Yeah, it's a little different. But as far as balancing it, I think I do pretty well. You know, I'm usually home by like 5, 6, 7 every night. You know, I'm healthy. I go to the gym 3 times a week, and my kids go with me.
That's huge.
You know, so
you get to teach them that. That's something that I can't wait to do with
Yeah,
my little ones there.
definitely.
Like just instill the philosophy of strength, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
It's legit. I think, do you have a problem, and most people do you have like a problem because you enjoy the shit out of what you do, so it makes it easy for us to work long hours and do all that? Do you have a hard time, whether it's vacation or just taking a little bit of time off, do you have a hard time shutting off?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I almost can't
Yeah.
to an aspect. You know what I mean?
I almost feel like I always have to be doing something at work.
Or you get that, you have that feeling, you're like, oh, you know.
Somebody else is doing it.
Yeah. And I think that's just overall, anybody who's a go-getter, who's in the business life, or who does what we do is going to feel like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But yeah, definitely hard to shut off. And like I said, almost sometimes you almost can't.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Like if I'm not doing something directly correlated, I'm making content or I'm marketing or doing something, and it just
Definitely.
It is tough, dude. It is super tough.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it comes along with the gig. If I'm being honest, it just comes along with it. So
Part of it.
It is. So in this type of economy, just trying to acquire assets, do your thing, nothing, you're doing business as usual, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, pretty much just heading forward. Good. Yeah. And that's kind of where we're at. So a big thing that I like to ask every guest at the end, and I think it's something that you can really stew on. But we build all this stuff. At some point, KE&I, whether it's the same name or not, you're going to be handing off those keys to the kingdom at some point. You're going to sell it. You're going to give it to your kids. They're going to reap the benefits of learning from you first and foremost, but not just getting something handed to them, but like, this is the hard work. They've seen it. This is the fucking hard work that got me there.
Yeah.
When you pass, when we're gone, what is the legacy? What do you want your kids to say about you?
So, you know, when I pass away, you know, I'm setting the kids up in my family for longevity. You know, They're going to be able to, they're going to grow up. They are growing up in the business. They're learning stuff. Yeah. You know, they're learning how to do deals, transactions, different business variations. So, they're going to be able to take that with them the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? I'm not the guy that wants to hand everything down for free. No hard work put in, or for free, you know? So they're definitely going to work for it. And, you know, it's simple. It's simple because going back to like my grandfather, the legacy that he left behind.
I was just going to bring that up.
You know, and it's kind of rolling over in generations, you know what I mean? And for us to be able to keep that going it's great. It's
cool. You know, it's way bigger than ourselves, man.
Yeah, it's just super. It's such a blessing.
Because if you wouldn't have done it, I mean, there's probably somebody else in your family that has, but if you wouldn't have done it, where's that legacy going to go from your grandfather?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot bigger. It says KE&I, but it's so much deeper than that. It's really cool, man. My big thing is just being able to instill that work, to instill that just Mamba mentality, just pushing forward, you know. Hopefully that's something that we can do. And again, the hardest thing, and I think it's cool, we talked about the interrelationship between family and business, and you're doing a really cool job. When I went out and met you the first time, like those kids are buzzing around, they're in there, you're having them grab shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're seeing the day in, day out. So like, it's much different than a trust fund baby. Yeah. Hey, here's your money, go blow it.
Definitely.
Yeah, turn it into a Steve-O or something, you know, pretty quick. So it's like, it's really cool that I think you're taking the right steps, Bryce. I think you're doing the right things. Because how many kiddos do you have again?
I have 3 boys.
3 boys, yeah, and they just like getting after it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're doing the right thing, man, and being able to hand the keys off to what you've done. And I look up to you and what you do from afar.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really cool what you do, man. If people were looking for whether your services, just looking up the shit you do, where can people reach you?
Well, we have a website. So our real estate side is Kephart Estates and Investments, LLC, right? And our construction division is KE&I Services.
Okay.
So anything real estate related would be Kephart Estates and Investments, and anything on the construction side, maintenance, whatever that would be, the
Yeah.
KE&I services. We're
Awesome.
on Facebook. We're on different platforms. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're all over. So
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
I'll do some digging and get those links and post them up in the show notes and everything. And we post it up. I'll shoot you a text when we post this up. It'll probably come out next week.
Okay.
So yeah,
Awesome.
man, I appreciate
Love
the
it.
shit out of your time, dude.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll be talking in the future sometime. So
Yep.
I appreciate it, man. You guys have a good one. And that is it for Next Level Radio. Reach Bryce at any of his, you got Facebook, YouTube, anything. And just honestly, if you don't need the services, reach out and see what he does. It's pretty cool. And if you're getting into the real estate world, ask fucking questions. Ask questions. I mean, this podcast started because I just asked questions. That's all you got to do. Reach out. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.
Yep.